We are doing a deep dive today into Mound of Secrets by Jeff Reveau, published in 2026. And, I have to say, looking at this on paper, it looks like a genre train wreck.
It sounds chaotic.
Right. You've got this gritty crime heist, and then a family drama about abuse, and then suddenly, boom, supernatural horror.
It does sound like too many ingredients, but what Reveau manages to do is use those disparate elements to tell a very cohesive story.
Okay, cohesive how?
Well, it's all about one thing: control, lack of it, the desperate grab for it, and the terrifying consequences of actually having too much of it.
We are in Lansing, Iowa.
And Lansing is a real place, by the way.
It's this small river town, frozen in winter. The Mississippi River is completely frozen solid. It's gray, it's freezing, and it just feels claustrophobic.
In the book, it really serves as a pressure cooker for the characters.
He's our protagonist. He's the guy who got away.
But he returns because he has to. It's the funeral of his father, Charlie.
And Charlie wasn't just a distant dad.
No, the text is very clear. Charlie was a monster. Eric didn't leave to chase some big city dream.
He left to survive.
He chose flight. But coming back, you really see the cost of that choice. He's incredibly detached.
His brother Paul just stayed right in the middle of it.
Paul is the tragic mirror to Eric. If Eric is flight, Paul is freeze. He drinks too much. He's got this rough, defensive demeanor. He essentially absorbed all the toxicity that Eric ran away from.
He took the hits for 10 years.
Yeah, he did.
And all of that dynamic just explodes quietly at the funeral. I have to talk about this funeral scene because it is so painful to read. He's standing there, watching his father in the casket, and he literally leans down and whispers to the corpse.
He tells him, "You will be forgotten."
It's chilling.
But think about what that represents. It's a profound attempt at control. His father controlled his entire childhood. Now, in death, Eric wants to control the narrative. He wants to erase him.
He's even cracking jokes to the locals, like Sheriff Larry asks where he's been, and Eric says he was in a 10-year coma, just to avoid the awkward truth.
Total defense mechanism. Deflecting everything.
But amidst all this gloom, there is a bright spot, which is Dana.
The sister.
Yeah.
And her fiance, Donnie. They are the emotional anchors of the story.
Donnie's fascinating.
He really is, because he's the only male figure in the book who isn't broken or violent.
He's stable. He loves Dana.
He represents the life Eric could have had.
And Eric latches onto them immediately. He wants to protect Dana. He wants to be the good big brother. But Eric has zero clue what is actually happening in his family.
He thinks he's just walking into a sad funeral.
Right.
He's actually walking straight into the aftermath of a botched multi-million-dollar heist.
Okay, so let's untangle this timeline, because I had to read this section a couple times to get the sequence straight. Paul, the brother who stayed, has been busy.
And not in a good way.
So Paul and his buddies, they decided to rob a pawn shop over in Prairie du Chien. But they made a massive miscalculation.
Huge. This wasn't a normal pawn shop. It was a front for the Rodents.
The Rodents being a local biker gang.
Right.
So they didn't just steal some used power tools and a few guitars.
No, they accidentally stole the gang's reserves. Gold bars, silver, cash. The total haul is nearly $5 million.
$5 million in a town where everyone knows everyone.
Exactly. You can't just hide that. After the funeral, the family has a gathering at Donnie's place. And there's this ancient Native American mound on the property. Donnie explains the local legend.
That it's not a burial site.
Right. It's a prison. According to the lore, an elder possessed by an evil spirit from the stars was trapped inside by fire centuries ago.
And because men in these kinds of stories have absolutely zero survival instincts, Eric, Paul, and Donnie decide to go exploring in the cave underneath.
And inside, Eric finds something.
A medallion with this deep blue sapphire-like gem.
Now, any normal person finding creepy jewelry in a haunted cave would leave it alone.
But Eric pockets it.
He takes it. He feels it pulsing with warmth. The text describes it as feeling aware.
Aware. That's so creepy.
And this is the absolute pivot point of the novel. Think about Eric. He has spent his entire life feeling powerless. Powerless against his dad. Powerless to save his mom.
And suddenly he's holding an object that offers the ultimate shortcut.
The power of command.
Absolute mind control. If he speaks a command while holding that medallion, the listener has no choice but to obey.
It's terrifying when you see how he starts using it.
Yeah, the progression is wild.
The real world is aggressively closing in.
Because the Rodents want their $5 million back.
The Rodents aren't the only players on the board.
Right. Enter the Horsemen. Who exactly are they in this ecosystem?
The Horsemen are a rival biker gang based out of Rushford, are the ones who tricked Paul's crew into robbing the rodents in the first place.
Oh, wow. So Paul was just a pawn the entire time.
A total pawn in a turf war.
Which leads us to the climax.
This is hands down my favorite character arc in the book. Looking at Paul as the screw up, Paul looks around and realizes that his family is completely defenseless.
So what does he do? He stops freezing.
He acts. Without telling Eric or anyone else, Paul gets into his truck and drives alone to Prairie du Chien.
To the rodents clubhouse. He walks into a room filled with armed bikers.
It's the kicker. He goes in completely empty-handed.
He doesn't bring the money.
No money, no weapon.
So what is his plan? Is it just a suicide mission?
Eric tried to save the family by controlling everything.
And Paul is trying to save the family by just absorbing the blow. And Paul is standing alone in a smoky room full of killers, trying to talk his way out of a war he barely understands.
It's brutal.
It really is. It makes you question the entire role of that spirit in the Mound, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I've been thinking about that a lot since reading it. It made him feel safe while the actual armies were gathering just outside town.
What is the core takeaway for you? Why does a story about frozen rivers, biker gangs, and magic stones stick with us?
I really think it comes back to that theme of shortcuts. Every single character in this book tries to take a shortcut.
Right. Eric thought leaving town was a shortcut to healing, which it wasn't.
Paul thought the robbery was a shortcut to financial security, which it definitely wasn't.
It is a heavy note to end on, but it feels incredibly right for this story.
It leaves you with a really provocative question to think about, though.
Let's hear it.
If you were in Eric's shoes, if you were wandering through that dark cave and you found that medallion in the dirt,
Oh, man, don't ask me that.
if you could literally speak a command and make the entire world obey you, would you have the strength to leave it there in the dark, or would you pick it up?
I mean, I'd love to say I'd be the hero and walk away, but absolute power. That is a test most of us would fail before lunch.
I think you're absolutely right.
Well, that is all the time we have for this deep dive into the frozen, chaotic world of Jeff Revaux's Mound of Secrets. It is a wild, wild ride, and I highly recommend if you want to find out how Paul actually handles that room full of angry bikers.
Assuming he handles it at all.
Assuming he survives the first 5 minutes.